So here I want to go ahead over another word problem where we're looking at ratios. So Mr. Donnelly and Mrs. Rogers are both traveling the same distance for the holidays. This is pretty important that we're traveling the same distance. So, highlight this. And then this gives us our rates in terms of 7 hours. Mr. Donnelly travels 459 miles in 7 hours. Mrs. Rogers travels 397 in 4. So we're going the same distance, but this is just over 4 hours and over 7 hours. So the only, who will get to the destination fastest? How do you know? So you just basically need to come up with a similar ratio with the same number of hours to kind of figure that out. My recommendation is go for your unit rate. So with Mr. Donnelly, you would say, all right, his would be 459 miles to 7 hours, and then you just divide by 7 and use the calculator to do this one. Well, not this problem, because it would be 1 hour, and then 459 divided by 7. So 459 divided by 7, it gives me a long decimal, like 65.57, and then it goes on for a while. So let's try it again. 459 divided by 7. Yeah, so I'm going to round that. 600, or it says 65.6 miles. Let's move this out of the way. M-I-L-E-S. So that's Mr. Donnelly's unit rate, and then Mrs. Rogers would be 397 over 4 hours. So then you just divide by 4 to get 1, and then you do 397 divided by 4 into your calculator. Oh my goodness, 99.25. Mrs. Rogers has some serious speeding issues, so I don't know that she'll make it to her destination. However, in theory, Mrs. Rogers ends up getting there first. How do you know? Because she drives 99 miles an hour. Yeah. So create a different problem where the other person will get to their destination quicker. So how I would create a different problem? 65 miles an hour probably isn't too bad. And I would honestly say, let's just switch the person and let's make Mrs. Rogers not drive ridiculously fast. How do we do that? Well, let's just say instead of 4 hours, it would be 397 miles in, say, let's go with 6 hours. And then let's do 397 divided by 6, and that equals 66.1. That wouldn't be long enough. But if I did it in 7 hours, that would give away the answer because it would say the same number of hours to start with. So let's stick with 4 hours then, and let's so Mrs. Rogers will still be 4 hours, and so let me see. Say we want to go less than this. So let's say she goes 60 miles. So 4 times 60 equals 240. So she has to drive about 240. Let's make it a decimal. So we'll do, let's say, 238 miles in 4 hours. And 238 divided by 4 is 59 and a half. So that's not too bad. So I would say Mrs. Rogers went 59.5 miles per hour when Mr. Donnelly's going that fast, and he would get there first. So that's how you'd create the other problem. And on that note, it is time to say later.